NSFW, what unexpectedly turned you on? We were going through our old childhood books to donate to charity and she found this Sesame Street picture book I must have owned as a kid. She was going to get rid of it but I wanted to keep it. She started reading through it to me to tease me. When she got to the section about Ernie taking a bubble bath with his rubber ducky in her teasing voice, it awoke something in me I didn't know about myself before. We kept that book and now she reads it to me on my birthdays before we have bubble bath sex. We finally learn the origin story. We're witnessing history. My wife doesn't really ever swear, except when we are doing the deed. Then she throws around F-bombs freely. One day she kicked the corner of the table and screamed out aloud, F-U-U-U-U-C-K. I had a Pavlovian response in my shorts. 12 years ago my wife said, "Fuck me like you paid for it?" I still think about that. My fiancé makes this sound when he's turned on by something I'm doing or that he's looking it on me. But it can be a problem sometimes because he sometimes uses the same sound when he sees like an ad for food that looks really good. Read this as what unexpectedly turned on you, and started writing about how when I was younger my grandma's sweet dog almost tore off 2 of my fingers. Thank God I went back and read it. If I had gold I would give you. I got you. When my so jokingly bit my butt. I was lying naked on the bed after a shower and he straight up bit my butt cheek as a jokin'. Dang. It did things. I've done this to 3 women now. It's a turn on for me and I'm proud to say I've spread the turn on to 3 women. It's the best. When my husband looks back when he's backing in the car. Does that include the putting the arm over the passenger seat back? ETA. Well, my highest voted post ever. Thank you kind stranger for the silver. That is a first. ETA number 2, gold. Thank you as well kind stranger. Oh yes. Wife couldn't reach something and I caught her hopping up to try and get to it when she didn't know I was there. My brain went into primal must fuck right now mode. And now everything in your house is just out of reach, right? No, I wouldn't do that. It was just one of those one-time things that set me off. I got home early and she didn't hear me. She hadn't changed out of her workout clothes yet and was hopping up and down like a damsel in distress and yada yada yada, you know the rest. A couple years back, my girlfriend at the time and I used to have sex while Pandora played. Every once in a while a car insurance commercial would play in the middle of songs. We laughed it off, but it didn't distract us from doing the deed. Fast forward a couple years forward and I hear that same car insurance commercial. Instant erection. Paging Dr. Pavlov. This guy the first was seeing called customer service to get a company error corrected. He used the softest, firmest, most understanding tone I've ever heard and I lost my damn mind. My friend will look me in the eye when I'm talking to him and like raise his eyebrows and shit to show he's listening, and goddamn is it hot. Maybe it's a female stereotype but good listeners are hot, LMFAO. My former professor took job as copywriter for the education system in our company. So I write the technical stuff, send it to him and he'll make it nice to read. First time I read his work on my text, I was amazed by how well he understood what I meant and made it so much better. And I got wet. I still sometimes think about certain paragraphs when masturbating. Edit. Holy smokes, this blew up. Thanks guys. For those who would like to see the infamous paragraphs, the text is all in check and is all about printing machines the company uses. He just really nicely explained how UV print works. Well, that's fucking hilarious. And the guy is probably walking around with no idea he has this superpower. My hairdresser straddles my leg once in a while and gets really close. She also gives the best scalp massages. Kind of like a reverse hair down moment. Don't know how to describe it. First time noticing was a girl I kind of knew in high school. Sort of pretty with really long brunette hair. In a science class. It was a practical lab, so no hanging hair. In just one sweep she gathered up all her hair and pulled and tied it into a ponytail, and slipped on the safety glasses. And I was just gone. Edit. This is the most upvotes I've ever gotten before. Neat. Though I might disagree with all the people suggesting that it's just because my brain is expecting a BJ. That would fill me more with fear, apprehension and arousal. After an unfortunate incident some years back, was going to say the same thing. My first date with my girlfriend. She put her hair up in a bun and it felt like time was moving in slow motion. I wasn't sure if I was gay or not, and those few seconds cleared that one up. I told her about it and she said it felt a little awkward to her actually. She was struggling to get her hair in the tie, but I enjoyed it. Edit. Lol whoops. Guess I left this a bit ambiguous. Got people questioning my sexuality online and IRL. Man, buns must really confuse you. She blinded you with science. 70-year-old woman said I was handsome. Got raging hard on for some reason. I think I need a girlfriend. Edit. By the way guys, I'm 20 years old. I may or may not have a granny fetish. At the very least, free cookies. You ever had a gal without teeth give you a blowjob before? Granny gum jobs. I, female, was doing dishes, and one of male friends who was visiting was watching me from the doorway. Unbeknownst to me, when I noticed, he was just casually standing there, leaning against the frame, arms crossed, moist panties. Did you tell him? Haha, I sure did. And then what happened? Honestly nothing exciting. We made out, fooled around later. We're still bros to this day. This all happened 7 years ago. I live for these wholesome, we fooled around one time and we're still great friends stories. Well, we fooled around more than once while we were in college, but we decided we were not good for each and have remained good friends. I accidentally Pavloved myself. There used to be this porn I watched with 2 chicks in it that had no audio other than music by Disturbed. Years later Disturbed came on the radio. I instantly got turned on. Was so confused for like 10 seconds. Edit. 7 years. 100,000 plus total karma. And this is my top comment. Great. Oh wow. Edit. The correct number of H's. Taking a Greek mythology course in the TA. A curvy redhead said, if you want to talk about mythology for hours on end, I'm your girl. This comment did it for me. Someone being extremely passionate about history or doing well in Scrabble. It's very weird. Greater than doing well in Scrabble, Amy Santiago. I never thought of it like that. Thank you. Yes, this is the perfect description. First off, I'm a guy, so my high school had a darkroom for a black and white film photography program. I was the only boy in the course. There were about 10 to 15 girls in the class. I was pretty good. And by my junior year, I had been involved in the program longer than any other student. Having so much experience led to me being a good place to go for advice on printing their photos. I would go to their station to figure things out. And the same 3 friends of mine, that were girls, in that class, would come up behind me and rest their chin on my right shoulder. And that would always wake me up. I never expected something like that to send goosebumps up and down my body, and warrant a reaction downstairs. But it happened, and I took it in stride from then on. Not the same thing, but I had something similar where I was talking to a female coworker one day about back pain, and for some reason she started telling me how your spine alignment or something can be related to your mood, and proceeded to run her fingers from the top of my spine to the bottom twice to check my alignment and IDKY. But that shit sent me, and just goes to show human touch is a very powerful thing. Lick my ear and I'm down to fuck. Never get a puppy please. Or do. IDK. Username checks out. That scene in GoldenEye where Xenia Onatopp squeezes that guy to death awoke something in me at a very young age. She always did like a good squeeze. Driving off cliffs in video games. Falling in them in general. Also those videos of people jumping around on very high ledges in buildings. Finally something just plain fucking weird. Right, I'm going through this reading stuff like when a guy gets a boner during XYZ, being on top and teasing my partner, when my wife jumps up and down, etc. Those things are all expected. Sit down. There is a person talking about ripe-looking tomatoes. Late to the party but whatever. Being in my tent. Like, I don't even know. When I'm camping and I retire to my tent, slip into my sleeping bag and zip up the little tent door. I have no idea, but apparently that really does it for me. What a strangely pure fetish, lol. So popping a tent pops a tent? Lol. I mean, I'm a girl. But, no, I can't think of a female equivalent pun. Sorry. Someone acting out of character. So a shy guy suddenly being aggressive or a loud dude being quiet in a situation that might call for it? So like a big loud dude being soft towards a cat, or a quiet dude defending someone in a fight. Edit. WHOMST is paying money to gold this. Once my very quiet and innocent friend who never curses said bitch, and I've never been the same since. Physical therapy. I know bullshit. Indian lady is working on my neck. I start to droop my head. She unceremoniously yanks me back into position. Keep your head up, damn. Yes, mistress. Hitting the rumble strips on the side of the road. PLZ, change your tires often. And your underwear, apparently. Looked me dead in the face, asked cash or credit, and I jizzed in my pants. I just ate a grape and my girlfriend when she picked up a knife. Didn't expect that one. Edit. To be clear, it was a normal butter knife and we were at dinner. She just happened to lick something off the blade and suddenly I was pitching a tent. She in no way was attempting to murder me. Had me worried for a second. Was in bed with my girlfriend and the remote was at the end of the bed. I sit up and basically lazily reach for it on all fours. I'm in some boxer briefs that have a pouch-like thing for your junk, so when I bent over, my bulge was pretty much in her face. She just playfully punched me in the balls and it hurt and stung. But I almost instantly got hard. I'm now laying on my back holding my balls in protection. She can see the outline of my obvious boner though and starts laughing confusedly. She volunteered to blow me as an apology, and since I was already hard, I asked her to tap my balls a little throughout and I nutted harder than ever. Basically now all of our foreplay commences with light ball busting, cock and ball torture. I'm not a fan of anything aggressive, and honestly after months of doing this, don't see myself doing anything more than the slaps, punches and squeezes we do. I had her kick me once and she didn't really know how much harder a soft kick is than a soft slap. Needless to say, the pain shot through my balls and into my soul. Never again. My favorite is when we are lying on the couch or I am just getting out of the shower and she grabs me by the balls and directs me into the bedroom. Assure also long distance cum shots with slaps during climax. I don't have a medical fetish, but for some reason medical scrubs do it for me. Edit. Can't believe that this comment got me some gold. Thanks, stranger. I'm glad I wasn't the only one. Likewise, no fetish but a well-fitting pair of scrubs is hot. When I was a freshman in college, an English boy in one of my classes said the phrase war of attrition with his English accent and I had to go take a breather. Shame that there's a lot of British accents that makes us sound like we are having a stroke. Edit. Thank you for my first gold, stranger. When I'm cuddling with a guy and I'm little spoon and I can feel him getting hard, that really does it for me. It bothers me a bit as a guy. Like, sometimes I just want to cuddle and my dick's like, oh, we about fuck. Let me get ready. And I gotta tell it, nah. Chill. False alarm, monsieur, we just cuddling. But damn it if it doesn't pop up again a little while later. And I gotta say, damn it dick. I thought we had an understanding with that. Quote. Thankfully my girlfriend enjoys it enough too. But I'm always afraid that she thinks it means I want to fuck or something when in reality it's just my dick being a dick. Dicks are such dicks. Tomato in the kitchen was looking extra THICC just the other day. Our tomato fetish. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.